Welcome back to Morbid Canadian Moments, and to our final daily tale of October. Tonight, we are headed to the medical colleges of Montreal in the 1800s to examine a topic very close to my delightfully morbid historian heart: body snatchers. In the 18th and 19th centuries, medical teaching relied on careful study of the human form, and across Britain, Europe, and North America, there were never enough lawful ways to learn. Night after night, figures slipped into burial grounds, disturbed the surface just enough to reach the wooden lid below, opened it, lifted the remains, and carried them quietly back to anatomy rooms. Not out of malice, but to understand life, they had to study those who had passed. And Canada was no exception. At McGill in particular, the geography made the task easier on the students and somehow much more bizarre. The school sits on the slope of Mount Royal, beneath two vast cemeteries. In deep winter, the ground froze so hard that those who passed were kept in above-ground stone vaults until the spring thaw. On certain nights, students were known to climb the mountain, access the vaults, and place a form for study on a sled and send it gliding down towards campus through the snow-dark trees. Sometimes the sled arrived, sometimes it didn't, and morning walkers whispered about finding an unfortunate midnight sledder resting in the snow. But the public did not see this as mere mischief. Communities guarded resting places fiercely, and more than one future doctor sprinted through the cold, chased not by police, but by their neighbors defending their loved ones. Not all tales ended with nervous laughter. One graduate recalled that one evening his classmates arrived triumphant with a body, only for another student to pause when he recognized the features of his aunt. Her son, also a medical student, was on his way. Rather than returning her, they worked quickly, altering her face before he entered. He congratulated them and studied her without knowing. These stories are unsettling, and they should be. Medicine's past is not built only on genius, but on evolving ethics and real people who never chose their fate, yet shape modern healing all the same. We can be grateful for modern consent and donation, but we can also pause to acknowledge those whose bodies built medical knowledge without ever choosing to. And with that, we close 31 nights of Morbid Canadian Moments. Thank you so much for spending October with me, exploring the dark corners of our collective history. I'll be back after a short rest with gentler pacing and many, many, many more stories waiting to be unearthed. Happy Halloween.